Juliet, today you spoke beautifully about Birkat Kohanim, the ancient words of blessing bestowed on the Israelites by the priests, and in particular, the meaning of the blessing for peace. Our sages raised an important theological question about Birkat Kohanim. They asked, why is it the priests who are delivering these words? If the blessings are from God, why can't God directly bless the people? Why are the priests an intermediary for God's words? According to a midrash from Midrash Tanchuma, the Israelites challenged God on this very point, saying, Ribono shel olam, master of the world, you tell the priests to bless us. We only need you to bless us. The Holy One then reassures the people, saying, although I have told the priests to bless you, I am standing with them and blessing you. And it is for this reason that the priests spread their hands as if to signal that I am right behind them. The midrash then quotes from Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs, the Bible's great love poem. My beloved is like a gazelle. There he stands behind our wall, gazing through the window, metzitz min acharakim, peering through the lattice. The midrash explains that gazing through the windows, peering through the lattice, refers to God gazing upon Israel, standing behind the Kohanim, viewing the people through the spaces between the outspread fingers of the priests. This remarkable midrash speaks of two different kinds of longing. The Israelites yearn for a direct experience of God without the presence of priests, without the trappings of what we today call religion. It's a longing that we can perhaps identify with. But the midrash also, in daring fashion, speculates that God is longing for contact with the people. Our sages turn to Song of Songs not only because it contains beautiful love poetry, but because it is a love of a particular nature, intense and passionate, but mostly unsatisfied. The two lovers in Shir HaShirim admire and delight in each other. They speak to each other and vividly dream of each other. They ache to be together. They seek and pursue each other, but they are mostly apart. This poem that comes to us from across the millennia vibrantly evokes the joys of love, but it is an elusive love, a love experienced only in moments of exquisite beauty. It is real love, but it is love from a distance. It's striking that the sages thought about our relationship with God through the prism of Shir HaShirim. And I'm fascinated by the way they envision Birkat Kohanim, the priest's blessing of the people. On the one hand, there is an element of separation, even alienation. The people cannot receive the blessing directly from God. It must be channeled through the Kohanim. And on the other hand, God is unmistakably there, the divine radiance shining through the outstretched hands of the priests. It seems to me an image that can speak to us today. We too may experience separation from God, frustration, disappointment, anger, and sorrow at a world that can seem empty of the divine presence. We long for direct evidence that God is real, that there's a purpose to life. And on the other hand, there are radiant moments of beauty that enrich our lives. And often we experience them through the mediating presence of human beings. Like the priests of old, people can bring blessing into the world. Our touch, our smiles, our acts of love and compassion and justice are channels for divine energy to flow from one person to another. And as the Holy One says in the same midrash, since the beginning I have blessed my people. From now on, blessings will be transmitted to you through the priests. You are to bless my children. Our sages experienced a world that was as violent, as full of suffering as our own. But they never ceased to believe that God was real, that goodness matters, that we can have glimpses of the sacred through the beautiful acts of ordinary human beings. May we too lift up our hands to bless one another, knowing that the divine presence shines through our righteous deeds.